All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well. Why not this truth from and salutation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And today, man, just basically touching on, this guy going into slavery or basically playing his natural position because it was never prophesied, for this guy, Esau Edom, to have a perpetual rulership. It's actually prophesied that this guy will be a slave, man. And all of a sudden, when you got slaves across the whole world and you had the Kanjin, you had the whole planet Earth popping when you had the Israelites in captivity. But when it's your turn to drink of the cup, now you trying to turn your head. Hell no, man. Yahweh Shai is finna bring true justice upon the earth, man. And the justice that he's going to bring upon the so-called white man is well deserved, bro. For all these people who want this guy to be saved, who want to be on the same level. No, you're going against the ways of Yahweh Shai. You're an antichrist now, man. And the reason why you're an antichrist because you're going against prophecy. Let's get this real quick in Deuteronomy 30, and I'm going to jump down to verse 7. It says, "And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." So the curses that was upon us, man. Having the evil eye against your brother. That's happening amongst Esau. Curse shall I be in the city, curse shall I be in the field. That's happening to Esau. And on all levels, this guy have been debased. And he haven't been debased off the merits of, misfortune events. No, he's being debased by the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because it's the will of the Lord to have this guy in a position of servitude, because if this guy doesn't have chains on him, look what happened. Seas or trash is in the planet Earth. Trash is in the seas. The earth is polluted. The air is full of aluminum and balding, but all whatever, the water is full of fluoride. Men want to be women want to be men. This what happened is when the wicked are in power, man. And you have to be a crazy motherfucker, man, to want this guy to continue to mess things up. Let's get this in the book of Lamentations 4, and I'm going to jump down to verse 21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked." Right there, man. So the cup of our punishment, the cup of our slavery, all the hell that we went through is going to happen unto you, man. That's true reparations. Our reparations, you can't give us, everybody get $250,000. Now $250,000 is not as valuable. We're going to give you 40 acres and a mule. We don't want that, man. We don't want this polluted land of America, man. The only reparations, the only restitution that will work is you being in chains. If you believe in justice, you might as well start early, man. You can clock in for me. When you get home, make sure your daughter rub my feet and, all those different things. But at the end of the day, once you look at the atrocities that Esau have done unto our people, we should expect this guy to be in slavery, because a lot of those things wasn't documented. Some things was documented: castration, butt breaking, gator bait. But just imagine the things that these devils didn't written down, man. Didn't wrote down. Even the guy, Nat Turner, Nathaniel Turner, they said when they killed him, basically they cut up his body parts and sold those as souvenirs. Even it's also many stories of leather chairs actually being made with human skin. And you think the Lord is going to let this nigga get away? Let me go ahead and get this, and I'm going to jump back, man. You think the Lord is really going to let this guy get away for not only doing this into the heathens? Nah, fuck that. For doing it into the Israel of Yasharata. You know? Matter of fact, let me get it right here. Let me get it right here in Sirach, the 16th chapter. This is the book of Sirach, 16. And I'm going to jump down to verse 11. It says, and if there be one stiff-neck among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished. And Esau have been going on to be unpunished for years, man. For years, this nigga have been getting away for beating our ass. Emmett Till. If Emmett Till was alive the next day, do you think he would want to be equal? No, he would want revenge, man. You know, and again, these are the famous killings. Just imagine the things that this devil didn't write down, man. All the grapes, you know, with men and women. You know, all the freakisms that this guy pushed forth, gator bait. And a lot of these things that he did to punish Israel, it was really for his entertainment. And he didn't get off on, you did something bad. No, he got off on this Israelite getting punished, man. Just like during the times of Egypt, the Egyptians, you know, they hated Israel automatically as a people, and they used any and everything to persecute us, you know. By the way of, you know, yeah, you can't make the bricks with straw anymore. And even one example, when Moses, you know, put down that Pharaoh because he was mistreating the Israelite, man, that was a usual thing. So just how much is when our worst enemy does it, man? You know? And even says that this guy actually furthered the affliction. He brought wickedness into a whole new heights, man. Even judgment, he brought it to a whole new heights. Because never upon the planet of earth have people been done like the nation of Israel. Let's jump down to verse 13. It says, the sinner shall not escape with his spoils, but the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. And what's the patience and faith of the saints that have this nigga into slavery? So let's jump back to verse 11. It says, and if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marveled if he escaped unpunished. For wrath and mercy are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. Yes, and how will the Lord pour out his displeasure in the kingdom of heaven? Will he pour out his displeasure by physically coming down? And yes, Yahweh Shai, he's going to have his, you know, he's going to have his time. But no, he's going to use us to do it. Ezekiel 25, and let's start at verse 14. And I will lay vengeance upon Edom. Now, if you had a mental brain inside your body, you would want to identify who this Edom is. Now, Edom is not the Samoans, you know, a whole bunch of guys that worship the volcano. No, Edom is the so-called white man, you know, and one shocking thing about that, that's our closest relative. No, I'm not mistaken, not the lady, it's Ishmael, but Esau, the so-called white man, is the closest blood unto us from everybody. That's our uncle, our evil uncle, our creepy uncle, man. You know, when he come over, you know, you got to hide all the jewelry, man. When he come over, you got to make sure he don't get too close to the kids. You know? So let's read this again. It says, and I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do to Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So it's going to be according to the Lord's anger, the judgment that we're going to put down on these niggas, man. Not to any other, you know? Because again, look what these people have done unto us. So guess what we're going to do unto them? Or let's go ahead, because not only them, even the other heathens, man. It says, thus saith the Lord power, because the Philistines have dealt by revenge and have taken vengeance with a despiteful heart to destroy it for the old hatred. Therefore saith the Lord power, behold, I will stretch out my hand upon the Philistines. So, you know, so you racist, you just hate white people. We hate niggas too, man. We hate all these people because at the end of the day, these people comes to lead to the misfortune of our people, man. They lead into the misfortune of life. And that's why even the Bible says the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. So, yeah, we hate the so-called white man. And we hate the heathens too. The Philistines, the Hagarenes, all these heathens, Moab, Ammon. But the top of the list is Esau. Let's go ahead and get this in the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 2. Let's start at 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? A part of that vain thing that these people are imagining is you having us into slavery forever. Because that's what we're in. We're in slavery. Even if you're an athlete, you in more of a hardcore slavery. Niggas got you on a certain diet. You can't eat certain things. You can't hang out with certain people. And if you do, you get fined. They got to make sure when you go, make sure you be here. And I believe a lot of them people have a C-hip in them, man. A chip in them, which is the mark of the beast. Let's go ahead and continuing on. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. So they're trying to break us off from being a nation. They're trying to disconnect that spiritual connection that we have with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But you can't, man. The spirit is already rolling and prophecy is already on its way up. Let's go ahead and continue on, though. It says, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. And that's it. The Lord is going to have you guys bugged out because you thought that the reparations talk was going to work. Now it's generational wealth over a period of time. And even this guy, Bill Gates, this nigga's saying he's going to give up all his wealth by 2040. Man, by 2040, those dollars wouldn't mean nothing. By 2040, the C-hip would be out there, man. And in order for you to use that millions of dollars or millions of credits, guess what? This guy is going to have you put your hand out and put a device inside you. But let's go ahead and continue on. That's why he's going to the extreme, not to go into slavery. NWO is not the matter of comfort. It's a matter of desperation. You cutting off the food supply. You putting more chemicals in the water. You spraying more chemicals in the air. Your witches and warlocks are doing overtime now, time and a half, because you know that your kingdom is going into an end and you don't want to go into slavery. But it's biblical prophecy. We just started off Cain being a tiller of the ground. That word tiller goes back into servant. These are going to be one of the best slaves in the kingdom of heaven, man. How we was the best slaves in this society. Esau is going to be one of the best slaves in the kingdom of heaven. Let's go ahead and continue on. Let's jump down. It says, then, matter of fact, let's read this real quick. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yes, because ultimately the Lord is going to vex you guys, man. The same guy you put down is going to be the same guy that's over you. The same guy that you shitting on will be the same guy that will be your ruler in the kingdom. And not only you, but even the elites. Those are going to be the first fruits. Let's jump down to verse 12. No, Salakia. Verse 8, Salakia, Akim. It says, ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thy inheritance in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So the Lord said he's going to give us the world in slaves. That's a part of the kingdom of heaven, man. What's a kingdom without serfs, man? Let's end life right here in the book of Job. Job 20. Let's jump down. Yep. In verse. Let's start at verse 15. He hath swallowed down the riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. And that's beautiful right there, because the riches that this guy has swallowed down, the jewels that he stole in 70 AD, all the gold that he had in Fort Knox, but also those riches is Israel. You know? Continuing on. He shall suck the poison of asp, the viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. So you're not going to see the good part of the kingdom of heaven, man. You're not going to be able to experience the tranquility of life. Because why? You love death. Let's continue on. That which he labored for, he shall restore. He shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Yes, that's beautiful. It says, according to his substance shall the restitution be. So the restitution is going to be according to the substance. And the substance of, 500 years in slavery. So the restitution is going to be 1,000 years in slavery, because it's written about in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, how everything that you did unto us, we're going to do unto you for double, man. This is why this guy is being desperate. Continuing on, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath vilely taken away in the house which he built not. Israel. Did he get Israel off of? No, he got Israel through World War II. The Balfour Declaration, man. And in the background, it was bombs going off. So he violently taken away lands, houses of men, and even a man's heritage. That's written about in Micah 2. Let's continue on. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He should not save of that which he desire. What's that? The New World Order. And that quietness in his belly, saying he is not going to have a peace of mind. And the reason why, because we out here giving you a friendly reminder that you're going into slavery, man. Give you a friendly reminder that all the shit that you're doing upon planet Earth, you're going to have to pay that shit back. So yeah, I pray the video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I want to give all honors to my apostle, Ellis Ray Millstone, and Shalom.